Did you know how to use a normal camera, not the old ones? But,
A normal camera? What's that mean?
A camera,
On
phone
your phone?
camera.
A phone camera?
Yeah, did I do it?
Have you got yours?
I have mine.
Why?
To take photos of it.
Oh, to take photos of me.
Yeah, yeah.
I can do it.
Okay. And it's in my selfie mode, so I'll turn it around.
Oh,
Whereas he
good
looks
now.
at it and he's like, I don't know what to do, it just keeps staring at me. Here, here's a
Turn yourself
button.
around.
Here's a button. What are you gonna do? Hello.
16th century.
I thought I would read, I'm going to start by reading this. Scars Publications does literary magazines, and annually we release a literary review date book. This is the one for 2019. It's got, you know, if you think it's hot here, you can enjoy all of the ice from Antarctica, which is on the cover of this book. Yeah, because it seemed like a perfect thing of like, yeah, it's really hot. There's some cold weather in this. I have one piece in this book, and it's on the week of my baby's birthday, which is the week after yours.
Yep.
And I would like to share with you the one poem I have in this book from June. And it is called Your Imaginary Soul Weighs 21 Grams. Different cultures call it different things. Your spirit, your soul. I know that we creatively believe that we are something special that we possess. But this elusive imaginary creature that lives within us causes much debate. Does it even exist? Is the soul real? So I found it funny that a doctor 100 years ago wanted to measure the weight of a soul. He found people sick, dying, and he weighed them just before they were about to die. And he weighed their corpses right after death. And what do you know? There was a difference in each person. The doctor found that each person was about a quarter ounce lighter, which is about 21 grams. And this doesn't prove anything, but it makes me wonder, is 21 grams the weight we carry for our soul? Or do some souls carry more from the weight of the world? Is that why we're forced to share our stories, to lift our burden, so our invisible soul won't weigh us down anymore?
Whoa.
A bunch of different people are in here. I believe there's one from Tom Woodruff in here. I don't know what it is, and I don't feel like looking it up. That's how I roll. But yeah, accepted things from the previous year up here in the annual books. So that's that. Because this was a tribute for Brian, I had written 3 things. And this is one of them. All of 3 of these Brian poems will appear in the next book that I'll be releasing through Scars Publications. A couple years ago, they started and released 2 books. They're called Pharaoh Memes. You don't know what pharaoh memes are because they're not a word. Actually, John Yatko made it up. You can be attracted to somebody's pheromones, and there are memes, so why don't we call them pharaoh memes? And you can be attracted to my ideas. And this the next one's going to be out is all about haiku, Twitterverse, Instagram poetry, and my shot from like my kindergarten class photo is the cover.
Oh,
She's like, oh wait, I need to take a photo of that. And it's and this is just put on this folder, but it's being done. Yeah, it's a little kid. And they were in the Pharaoh Meme series, and the other 2 books have the photos like this from it. No, that one will appear on the back cover with my Pharaoh Memes photos. But
Are they all children from another time, or?
they were just one of the class photos.
Okay.
wow.
And I took a snapshot of it, and I blew it up on my screen. And it got all pixelated, and I took a picture and I blew it again and it pixelated. And I'm like, now you don't know what the other kids look, but there are other shots of other students from my class. And that little dress was the dress that I wore for my brother Ed's wedding that my mom made. And my brother Ed is getting married again because his wife passed away and blah blah blah. But he's getting married again Labor Day weekend this weekend, so I might be, but I won't be going in a dress that my mom made.
I was just going to say.
I don't have that dress. I have dresses my mother made, but I don't think I'll be going to them. But that'd be funny. But anyway, anywho, but these poems about Brian will be included in them, including this very sad one. Sorry, and it's called Precariously Balanced. The world doesn't understand. I've been wanting to die since I almost died years ago, and I didn't know anyone else felt the way I did. We hold everything in. We put on a facade, and everyone ascribes it to our quirky ways, but we've been dying and no one sees it. Only when the corpse is discovered does it rattle you for a moment, but the pain doesn't go away. You people take a moment, you grieve, and you think that time heals all wounds. But those of us who are forced to live know the difference. It's a balancing act, and we walk on between life and death. You want to think that life is good, and it can be, but everything that could be terrible is lurking right behind. It's a balancing act. It's a tightrope walk. Some have slipped off. Some only precariously balance. And sadder, I'm sorry. I've read other ones. But I will lift your spirits with a couple of poems that are, this poem is about poems from this cc&d collection book, as many things of yours and chapbooks and whatnot, called On the Edge. Oh, she's like, I must take a picture.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I should see those double plus cool. I'm just going to read some of these. This poem is about poems. It's from a chapbook release. This one is called Quiet for a While. Your incessant screaming is making me go insane. All I want is some rest, and there you go, bothering me again, destroying my peace. And when I finally feel I'm at one with the world, you harass me again. You screech and wail until I can't take it any longer, and I have to use my bare hand and strike you hard to shut you up. You say quiet for a while, but only a day goes by before you do it again, before you set me off again. I swear, if I didn't need you so much in my life, if I thought I could get along without you, if every single morning like this, if I didn't need you to get me through my day, I would get rid of you. I'd kick you to the curb. Because this cycle is killing me. And how many more times will you do this to me before you break down? But I know we do this daily battle before you're reduced to nothing. And I'll just find someone else to give me life again. This is a poem about an alarm clock.
She does that too. Not fair.
This whole series is about and I write something like this. I don't know what this one is about, but I'm going to read this one for you. It's called Under Your Total Control. It takes a lot of convincing to get me to come to you. I've got work to do. I don't want to stop my routine. And all this time, you sit there and you wait for me patiently. When I finally break down, when I finally come to you, I dedicate myself to you, and I start to undress. You make me so wet as I drop my head and give in. You beat your heat into all of my pores, and I let you have your way with all of my skin, leaving me raw. And you know, every time we come together like this, I end up feeling so good and never want it to end. You see, I'm usually afraid to let go like this. I'm usually afraid to give in to you, to let myself be under your total control. But whenever we're together, oh, you remind me of how good it feels, how it is so worth my while to break up my routine by coming to you like this.
Oh, what's it about? What's it about?
This poem is about a shower.
I thought so.
Oh, you got
I was like, that's how I feel about my shower.
You take a shower, she's like, oh, I don't want to have to end oh, and then I'll undress. You get me so wet.
Love it. I love it. I was like, please be a shower, please be a shower.
All right, I've got 2 more of this and then I will stop. This one, oh, well, I guess you know a little. will tell you about the accident after this poem is over. This is called Hollow for So Long Already. After dealing with the needle for so many years, I was told I could do good and give back to the people. And if they just needed another needle to take something out of me, so trying to see this good Samaritan for once, I offered myself to them 4 times. But they were never satisfied with my identification. You know, I'm giving up something for you, and you are the one that's always putting me through hell for this. I'm used to the needle by now. I've avoided the track marks on my arms. I've shoved the needle into me so many times. I saw my veins once coming out of the way. They would move the needle and they'd watch my veins move again. Oh gosh, since that felt good, I switched to another arm, and then they try to keep talking about the high, but then right now all I feel are the lows as I sit here, time number 5, trying to do the right thing, waiting to let them hollow me out. Haven't I been hollow for so long already? Time to stare at all of the technicians wearing white jackets, rubber gloves, plastic face masks, saying that it's to be hygienic, anything for them to avoid coming into contact with anything to do with me. What am I saying? Giving back to the people. They say altruism is good, but then they pay you money to take what's inside of you to do a job. So without a job for 6 years, I'm tired of living on the dole. So let them suck out my insides just so I can afford to get drunk again. I knew a man with no job who used to donate white blood cells, red blood cells, when he found out that he could be paid at this place, and he decided to stop with donating blood, because you see, a man's got to survive any way he can. That's a great way to make money if you're desperate, right? I love playing these waiting games because here I am at visit number 5, reading their paperwork, verifying that I don't have AIDS and that I haven't lived in the Netherlands. Well, that's where I'm from, but I can't afford to visit. I mean, I don't even have enough money to stay drunk enough while I'm here, so if I'm giving up my insides to drink, you think that I can fly to Amsterdam for over 6 months to stay stoned? So thanks for checking in, but no, I've had no blood transfusions that I'm aware of. I wasn't born anywhere in Africa. And these are questions that they ask you. And although there's no test for Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, as far as I know, I have no fatal brain disease. My brain may be diseased, but I'm afraid it's not fatal. So while waiting here, someone asked for my 2-month-old Wall Street Journal that someone gave to me. I said sure, because newspapers may be dying but in the 21st century, but sometimes holding these pages, getting that ink on your fingers, it could be kind of addictive. So in hour number 3 of waiting, the news on TV says that the tax forms for presidential candidates say they made $1 million and made millions last year. I hear this as I sit in hour number 3 waiting for them to take my insides so that I can have enough money to even just drink. So finally, while on the 5th visit, after waiting for over 3 hours, they call me in, paint ultraviolet ink on my fingernails so that I don't donate somewhere else today, and then they check my vitals, take my blood, and they're about to travel past me and ask about my military history, ask about what drugs I've taken, and then send me to an RN, where after driving over for 5 visits, after waiting for over 3 hours, they explained to me that they are taking from people to help a certain kind of sickness. By looking at my medication, they see that I already have that certain kind of sickness. So even though I offered myself to them after I tried for too long, they say they don't want me. And all I think is, lovely. At least I didn't miss work for this. I can't help myself, but apparently no one else can help me either. Now I just have to figure out who will help me with my next drink. That was the thing about a plasma clinic.
Yeah.
I 7 months after my car accident, I had 1 grand mal seizure. I was on Delanton, and after a week I had an allergic reaction, spots all over my body. So then I took Tegretol, and 10 days later, spots all over my body. And then I gave me Depakote, which is an antidepressant medication, which is why I didn't write much for years, because I was on that. And so I was fine, and then I was like, all right, I've got no money, I'm gonna go to the plasma clinic and do it. And I waited 5 times for hours each time, and they're like, oh, well, you have that issue, so we can't use your blood. Where my brain was. I'm like, you're kidding me, right? So I'm gonna
I'm too short to donate plasma. Isn't that funny?
Wow.
What?
Yeah. They don't want short people.
But the blood doesn't work.
You have to be 5'7".
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
I'm 5'4".
Holy cow.
I was like, sure, I'll donate plasma, sure. And they're like, wait, how short are you? And I was
They can measure it.
Oh boy.
yeah.
Can you get in the
I can
roller
donate
coaster
blood.
rides?
Yeah, I can do it. Right?
Sorry, I'm
I
tall.
can.
I'm tall. I can do
Yes,
that one.
they
I'm
let
sorry.
me on those. Finally.
Finally.
I wear my wedges.
I'm like, wow, do you want me to wear heels? Really? I mean, like, I'm really tall. This last one is a short one, and it's about something else, but I won't tell you what. It's called Push Your Button.
Mhm.
It's so easy. I only do this once to you. And you get so hot, I know, when I push your buttons. And it can only take you a minute or 2 before it comes up for me instantaneously. Oh, I know what you do for me when I get you going. All I want to know is this. How much longer? How many more times will we do this to each other?
A car?
Any other guesses? That was a poem about a toaster.
Yeah,
exactly.
He knew
A
it.
toaster.
You should have said
Yay! It's a poem about a toaster. This is a poem about series. I write about simple objects, and there you go.
Do one more tricky one and see if he guesses this
Do
one.
one more tricky one, he
Yeah.
says. Then I will try.
Easy be wise after the event. Oh, I knew that. Who won the Kentucky Derby? I knew that.
This one will be a tough one for
Okay.
you. This
You
one will
ready?
be a tough one. No.
Listen. Yep.
Or else I do this one. I've got like 2 choices here. This one, Good Escape. I'll do a shorter one. This one will be easier. This one is called Good Escape. I sit around here waiting for you. That's all I do, you know, wait for you. When you turn me on, all I want is to make you happy. But you need to take control. You need to let me know what you want from me. What do you want to see in me? Do I have something inside of me to clear your mind of your troubles? I know you must have a lot on your mind, and I hope I'm a good escape for you. I'll be here waiting whenever you need me, whenever you want a chance to escape again. I'll be here for you.
Television.
Television, he got it. Poems about TV. So there you have it. Did he have it? TV. It was a poem about a TV. Okay.
That was about a car.
I was trying to find simple objects like a toaster, a curling iron, a shower. I
You did
don't
it.
think I did anything about a car.